Hey there, welcome to episode 15 of Tick,
Boom!
I'm Alicia Malone from Malone's Movie Minute, hence the tick tick.
My name's Maude Garrett. I'm from Geek Bomb, bringing the boom.
And together we talk about movies and games and we take suggestions from you. So Maude, this is actually a very appropriate t-shirt for today's category because we got a suggestion, which I think is great, of best tear-jerking moments in movies and games. Now, I can't imagine...
Movies is a no-brainer.
I know, but I can't imagine games would have any tear-jerking moments.
You would be surprised. Well, you're playing as a character a lot of the time, so you invest in these people, and sometimes for a lot longer than movies.
That is true. That is true. So we've picked our top 3, and we're also going to put a top 5 list on Geek Bomb and Malone's Movie Minute, so check it out. But starting off... Number 3.
All right, this game is available on Steam if you feel very miserable and you want to talk about death. It is called To the Moon, and basically scientists have discovered this technology where you can rewrite someone's past, but of course once that happens, you die. So usually it's everyone's death wish. And your client is an old man, and all he wants to do is go to the moon. So it's up to you to kind of rewrite all of these traumatic past things that actually happened in his life and make them lovely so that he can, you know, fulfill his dream before he inevitably dies.
Oh, that is sad. Well, I've got another one about dreams. Now, number 3, tear-jerking moment in a movie comes from It's a Wonderful Life, which is a film that I watch every Christmas. It's a Christmas classic.
I watch Home Alone.
1946, Frank Capra. It's about George Bailey, who is a good boy. He's so nice to the town of Bedford Falls, does a lot for other people, played by the wonderful Jimmy Stewart. But when his forgetful uncle loses a bunch of money, George gets really depressed and he tries to kill himself until an angel comes and saves his life. That's not the moment that kills me, though. The moment that kills me every time is when George comes back to the town and he discovers that all his friends and family have pitched in to give all their money to him so that he can survive financially. And the bit that really, really digs the knife in is the line, "For no man is a failure who has friends."
Oh, where are the dishes?
That means I'm not a failure because I've got you.
You're not a failure.
What's your number 2?
Number 2 for me is notoriously a game where everyone was like, yep, that moment is the biggest tear-jerking moment. It wasn't the best kept secret. I am talking about Final Fantasy VII. Straight away, you meet this gorgeous, innocent little flower girl called Aeris, and you're like, oh, she's getting along with Cloud. She's going to stick around for the long haul. Nay! An evil villain, someone that you guys actually commented on the last video saying Sephiroth is a huge villain, and this is why he just kills Aeris, just slices it down for no real reason. It's so blatant and he just
brutal.
Yeah, he just dies, and then they have this huge battle, and then after the battle, Cloud picks her up and then puts her into the water, and she kind of drifts away. Yeah, and Sephiroth is like, you know, you're a puppet. He's like, a puppet. You know, I get to play with you.
That's sad. Well, my number 2 involves love and death as
Love
well.
and death.
Brokeback Mountain, which is one of the best westerns around. It is also one of the best love stories around because the way they set up these characters. Jack Twist, played by my husband, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Ines Del Mar, played by the late, great Heath Ledger. Spoiler alert, my husband dies.
No.
And then Ines is so sad, and he's not one that shows much emotion. So it kills me when he goes into Jack's house and he gets a shirt and he smells it. It smells like him and he hugs it. Forbidden love, they could never actually be together.
It's the forbidden banana.
Too late.
Sorry, wrecking a beautiful moment there.
It's really sad.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. My number 1 video game, which has the most why, for the love of God, do you love nothing, that sacred moment. And do you remember the Never-Ending Story?
Yeah.
When Artax, the horse, gets stuck in the mud.
That's the worst moment.
Artax dies. So yeah,
sad.
Obviously cried a lot when that happened. But in Shadow of the Colossus, something very similar happens. Basically, it's just you and your horse, Aggro, and it's just you two trying to save the day, and you obviously form a strong bond with your companion, this animal you're riding on his back. Anyway, so you're walking across a bridge. The bridge starts to collapse. So Aggro throws you off to safety, only to be pulled under, and you watch the horse fall into the abyss
That's
and the
really sad.
splash.
I would cry in that. Animals kill me. That's really, really sad.
Oh, right. And then you're all alone. Oh, that was bad. That was
God.
painful.
Well, I haven't chosen an animal moment, but they do get
Milo
me.
and Otis, gone.
Oh, Marley and me? Stop it. So my number one moment, though, that never fails to make me cry, even if I've seen it a million times, is from my favourite movie of all time, The Shawshank Redemption. It is the moment where Paul Brooks, he has been in prison for 49 years.
Such a long
He
time.
finally gets set free, but as Red points out, he has been institutionalized. So when he gets out into the open, he feels more trapped than he did inside. He's in constant fear because the world has changed so much and he doesn't know how to fit in. He ends up being so depressed that he decides to end it all, and he gets up and he carves his name. Brooks was here. Then he hangs himself. And that just slays me.
Well, maybe we can just
Every time.
group hug it out, grab some tissues, you know?
Yes. Oh, I did want to do one honourable mention.
Let's do it.
To a movie we were both talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
The opening montage in Up.
Now, I watched this on a plane once, and I do not recommend watching it on a plane.
No.
That 2.5-minute montage of that beautiful whole
Incredible.
entire relationship
Yeah.
between the old man and his wife.
So fantastic the way that they condensed a whole life into that short moment without any dialogue or music.
Punches you right in the feels, man.
Oh my gosh, I watch it over and over again, even though it always makes me cry.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like a game for me. It's like I'm in the
cathartic.
best mood. 2 minutes later,
Cathartic. I just have to hear that music. That kills me too.
An honourable mention for a book for me. I know we don't really talk about books, but I do love my fantasy. The Deathly Hallows Part 2, which is obviously the Harry Potter books. I have never cried so hard. On the very, very last page, we find out, because it's, quite a few years later. So Harry, he's got a son, and you find out what his son is called. And it's the ultimate sign of forgiveness, because it calls him Albus Severus. I was gone. And then I realised that I'd finished the entire series.
And you cried more.
And there was no more books. So it was just, that I drowned in my tears.
Also, a recent movie I cried in, Transformers Age of Extinction, because it was so terrible. And I was like, why is this movie going to make $100 million at the box office? This is not fair.
Fair enough. That is actually in fantasy. I've seen her cry too.
Well, it was angry tears. Tears of anger. Anyway, those are our choices. What would be yours? Make sure you comment below or tweet us.
Now, let's see. We've done the tear-jerking movies.
Yes.
So
Tick.
We've done the tear-jerking games.
Tick.
You know what that means?
That means boom! We are done.